All right, let's get right into it. Today we're diving into a masterclass that's designed to completely rewire how you think about money, value, and wealth. We're going to dismantle the programming that keeps most people stuck in a financial rat race and rebuild it from the ground up. Okay, let's dive in. So, let's start with a huge question, one that kind of haunts all of us. Why do we spend the best hours of our day, the best years of our lives, chasing this thing we never really stop to define? I mean, what is money really? And why does it have such a powerful grip on us? Well, the answer, and this might surprise you, isn't really in economics. It's in biology. Okay, now get this, because this is where it gets wild. In a fascinating experiment, scientists gave some capuchin monkeys silver coins. And you know what? The monkeys figured it out pretty quick, trading them for treats like grapes and jello. But then something absolutely mind-blowing happened. A male monkey paid a female monkey a coin for mating rights. And the female, she immediately took that same coin and bought a grape with it. This proves money isn't some high-level intellectual concept. Nope, it's a primal shortcut for desire. It's a tool to get what we want. And the fact that we don't grasp this simple truth has led to this, a pretty staggering reality. 80% of all the wealth on the planet is controlled by just 20% of the population. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't an accident. It's the direct result of a huge knowledge gap. See, we're all taught how to work for money, but almost nobody teaches us how to make money work for us. And this right here, this is designed to close that gap for good. So here's the game plan. First, we'll tackle that core paradox. Then we'll trace the evolution of trust to see how money even became a thing. After that, we'll pull back the curtain on the wealth machine mechanics, see it in action with two paths, two destinies, then zoom out to master financial reality. And finally, we'll get into how you can become the source of value. All right, let's start by actually defining the tool we're all chasing. Because here's the thing. If you don't understand the tool, you don't just end up using it badly. You become fuel for the tool. Just a cog in a machine you can't even see.
So look, money really only serves three basic functions. It's a way to store value. Think of it like a battery for your time and labor. It's a medium of exchange, kind of a universal translator for buying and selling stuff. And it's a measuring stick for worth. But at its core, it's just a shared belief in imaginary numbers. It's an idea. And if you don't master the rules of this idea, you're pretty much destined to be a player in someone else's game.
Okay, so let's build on that. To really get how digital money works today, we've got to go back and look at how it evolved. You know, the entire history of money is really just a story of solving one single annoying problem, friction. So, it all started with barter. But just imagine trying to trade, say, a basket of fish for a new pair of shoes. I mean, you have to find someone who wants your smelly fish right now. That's what they call the double coincidence of wants, and it's just super inefficient. So we tried using commodity money, things like shells or salt, but then anybody could just go find more shells. Then around 660 BC, the Kingdom of Lydia in Turkey had a breakthrough, the first state-guaranteed coin. This was the birth of credit, which comes from the Latin word credo, meaning I believe. All of a sudden, we weren't trusting the metal itself, we were trusting the promise stamped on it. You fast forward to today, and 97% of all money is just digital code. It's pure information. We're just trading certificates of trust.
And now we're at the heart of this whole masterclass. It's time to reveal the secret to building real wealth. So forget everything you think you know about trading your time for money. I want you to picture something: the value converter machine.
Okay, so this machine has three absolutely critical parts. First up is the input. Now, most people think the engine is labor, hard work, but the real fuel, it's credit. It's your trustworthiness, your reputation. Second, you have the filter. As value flows into your machine, it gets sorted into one of two buckets. Either it's an asset or it's a liability. And third, the output, compounding interest. This is the magic that lets your wealth grow all by itself, exponentially.
And this slide right here illustrates that filter. And honestly, this might be the single most important financial distinction you will ever learn. An asset is like a gear in your machine. It turns and puts more cash into your pocket. A liability, on the other hand, is a leak in the pipe. It just drains cash out of your pocket. I'm going to say that again because it's that important. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. The whole game is to use your money to buy more gears, not to constantly patch more leaks.
Now let's talk about the output stage. This is powered by what might just be the most powerful force in the financial universe, the Rule of 72. It's a super simple formula. You just divide the number 72 by your annual rate of return, and that tells you how many years it'll take for your money to double. Let's make that real. If you invest 10 Rand at an 8% return, it becomes 20 grand in just 9 years. But if you let that same money sit in a bank earning 2%, it takes a painful 36 years to double. See the difference? One is multiplication, the other is just addition.
Okay, so we've got the theory of the machine down. Now let's see how it actually operates in the real world by looking at two totally different financial lives. And this isn't about how much money you make. It's about whether you understand the machine.
Take a close look at this. Person A is a highly paid specialist, maybe a doctor earning $200,000 a year. But look, they're spending $180,000 on a big mortgage, car payments, you name it, all liabilities just draining their cash. They have zero passive income. Now, meet person B. This is based on a real person, a janitor named Jim Reed. He never earned a big salary, but he got the machine. He lived simply and funneled every extra dollar into true assets, dividend stocks that paid him to own them, accounts that earned him interest. When he passed away, he was worth $8 million. Why? Because he defined his wealth by his assets, not by his paycheck.
And here's a classic trap that person A falls right into. The car loan says it's a 5% interest rate, but the IRR, the internal rate of return, tells the real story. It's the true interest rate because it accounts for the fact that you're paying down the balance over time. So that 5% flat rate loan is actually a 9.3% drain on your cash flow. It's how the machine springs a leak without you even realizing it. Person B avoids this trap completely because they're always the lender, earning interest, never the borrower who doesn't understand the real numbers.
All right, let's zoom out. We've been looking at the personal machine. But to really hit mastery, you've got to understand the invisible currents of the global economy that your machine is operating in.
And the most powerful current of all is inflation. It's like an invisible thief. Let's say you have $100,000 in a savings account, and inflation is 3%. Well, next year, you'll still have $100,000, but it'll only buy you what $97,000 buys you today. Your purchasing power just evaporates. So inflation is basically a hidden tax that absolutely punishes people who save cash, and it's a massive reward for people who own productive assets, because those assets tend to rise in value right along with it.
Now, here's a more advanced concept that separates the masters from the amateurs, the IRR paradox. Look at these two investment plans. They both give you a total of $50,000, but Plan B is way better. Why? It's all about front-loaded cash flow. That $20,000 you get in year one isn't just money, it's capital. It's money you can immediately put back to work, reinvesting it into new gears for your machine, letting it compound for 4 more years. How fast you get your money is often way more important than how much you get in total.
So with all this new knowledge, let's just go ahead and shatter the 3 most common and most dangerous financial myths out there. Myth number 1, my home is my biggest asset. Wrong. Unless it's actively putting cash in your pocket, it is a liability. Myth number 2, a high-paying job will make you wealthy. False. Wealth is not measured in dollars, it's measured in time. As in, how long could you survive if you stopped working today? And myth number 3, saving money is safe. In today's world, saving cash is a guaranteed loss of buying power. The only real safety is in owning productive assets.
And this brings us to our final and maybe the most profound section. We've gone through the mechanics. Now we have to master the mindset. The ultimate goal here is to stop chasing value and to start becoming the source of it.
So here are 3 powerful mental models you can start using today. First, the lighthouse model. A lighthouse doesn't chase after ships, right? It just stands there and shines its light, and the ships are drawn to it. You build your credit, your skills, your trustworthiness, and value will find its way to you. Second is the opportunity cost filter. Before you buy that $50,000 car, ask yourself, what is the future value of that money if I invested it at 8%? The answer? It's the $100,000 you're giving up in 9 years. And third, the I am money mantra. Stop thinking, I need money. Start realizing that your skills, your ideas, your integrity, you are the source of value. And that, right there, is the ultimate transformation. When you master the history, the mechanics, and the mindset of wealth, your whole reality shifts. You're no longer just a laborer, a cog in someone else's machine. You become the architect, designing your own. And the only question left is, what will you build?